Yeah, that was some crazy feedback from my Centerfill speaker there. He was just at the right place at the wrong time. So I've had some crazy events going on here recently that have really kept me from doing this. I've been putting some hours in on the wing, and those events are helping out a ton. Here is a look at some of the things that I've been up to since my last video. Guys, I got so much stuff in the works right now. I've got a shelf full of lights to get to. I've got a bunch of events coming up. I'm busier than ever, and we're going to try and put it all here as well, and lots of new ventures happening as we speak. All right, yeah, take a look at what we've been up to till now. All right, we're running into the summer season of 2025 really, really fast. I haven't had a band on the stage yet, just some solo or trio acoustic things. This is my first night with a band, little 3-piece or 4-piece. I honestly forget now. And some of my monitors aren't quite working the way they're supposed to. So we have to get these things set up, dialed in for our show today. And I have to do a little bit of problem solving, but I didn't even show those clips because some of my input jacks. We still have some cleaning up to do. There's still some birds up there. And I'm going to bust out the full-sized M32 for this gig here, seeing since we got a little bit more than a couple of guys playing acoustic guitars. It turns out I've actually lost the horn driver in that monitor, and so I have to swap this monitor out, and then in another episode, we will actually tear that monitor apart and replace the horn in it. A relatively easy project to do given I can find the parts that I want. These monitors are a little bit old school, but they are awesome. They sound great. I'm missing a little bit of low end out of them, but it is what it is. Now, if you're a guy that is an active monitor guy, make the switch, man. Go back. Yes, I'm dealing with a couple of things today, but that's only because I've put a million miles and hours on these drivers and on my connections. So definitely, if you are in a permanent installation, you need to have a passive monitor set up. So much easier, so much nicer. And if you're silly enough to use active, at least build really, really, really nice cable looms that have the signal and power all on the same cable. For this gig, I am using 2 snakes. So I'm using one snake, like a 6 or an 8 channel, downstage at the front of the stage for all of the cabled vocal microphones and any potential like acoustic guitar with a DI, all of that, or pedal boards, all of that stuff is going to plug in at the front. And then I have a larger 24 channel snake that will live by the drums, and it will carry, the rest of the work. So we'll do all the drum inputs in there. Usually the drummer has something to do with the tracks, so all the track inputs would go into there, so on and so on. Bass, guitars, all that stuff will pin in the back. It gives you 2 lanes of signal ins and outs, so it keeps cables really nice and tidy. And so I have my main patch area here behind my amps in the amp room. This box you see is actually what feeds me at front of house. Copper is the way to do this, boys and girls. If you're still using only digital snakes, you just don't have the flexibility of copper, and that really sucks. So, like I was saying before, I've set up 358s here on this front row, and the cable plugs down into the downstage snake, my little 6 or 8 channel, I forget. And yeah, it really doesn't get any simpler than that. And so I'll zoom in, and you can see that there are, 3 XLRs plugged in there. What is that? 8 channels? Yes, that's an 8 channel. And then here's my 24 channel snake sitting on the drum riser there. And this is where we're going to plug in all of our drums and so on, pretty much everything else. And one of those things where I'm like, yeah, use copper snakes. So each one of those snakes also has returns. So when a band comes in and they're like, hey, I have an in-ear system, can we use it? And it's not racked up with all the other in-ears, and everybody brings their own weird in-ear thing, right? Well, okay, so here at the drummer, look, I've got 4 returns there. So I can hit 4 units there, and the lead singer, who sings in like 8 different bands, they can plug their little 2.4 gigahertz in-ear thing right at their feet, right in front of them, as close and easy as it gets. And yes, technically you could buy like a bunch of SD8s and things, but then you're doing routing on digital screens and stuff, and that is very convenient in a situation where like you work with the same bands over and over again and you've got a playbook, right? That's not what I do. Every single night is a totally different situation. So I have to be prepared for anything, and copper's just a way to do that.
One, hey, yep. Check 1, 2, 1, hey, yes. 1, 2, check 1, hey, hey, hey. Check 1. Hey, yep. Alright, 1. Check 1, 2, whoop. Hey, 1, 2, 1.
For drums today, we've got a small kit here. So I'll actually run some overheads on this. When we're doing the rock and roll stuff in this room with my tin roof and my wood walls, with a bunch of vocal mics in the front, honestly, I get a ton of cymbal bleed. So sometimes I don't even run an overhead. But what we're going to do is we're going to put something, one of these overheads, we're going to run it closer to the hi-hat, and we'll run the other one closer to the ride. No need for, a ride mic and a hi-hat mic on this little show here. We've got the Sennheiser 609s, I think, or the 906s, which one? Awesome little microphones, plastic versions, and then we have the SE Electronics little pencil mics there for overheads today. And we'll be using the Audix D6 for a kick-out position rock and roll. Now, like I said, I have been ridiculously busy, and I've really been focusing on the shows because it's all I had time to do. And so the only video footage that I got from this show is off of my phone, and it's pretty bad. But here I will play it, and then we will transition into my most recent next show.
Oh, I'm the king of the castle. Your dirty wrath go crashing to me.
This is the end of the night for this show, and people are doing a rotation, going in the bathroom, that kind of stuff. So quite a bit of the crowd's already thinned out. But I figured I'd get the phone out and actually take something because I realized I hadn't taken a single photo or video of the show actually going. All right, so it's been a crazy day so far here at the saloon. Let me show you a little bit of what's going on. My amp room was taken over by the Guitar World. So this vault here holds everything he needs, all of his guitars and all the other equipment. And they have a split snake and in-ears, and this is where their split snake will patch into one of my snakes. And so yeah, we have 2 connection points in order to get inputs out to me. And this is a little side area of Backstage here. And so directly in front of us, we have a playback rig and control rig for in-ear monitors. And then we've got a LED wall there hung. And for lights, everything's all time-coded with playback on a Grand MA Wing. And we've got some digital drums here. So it's a really big sound, and these guys are some of the best at actually bringing all of this stuff in and providing all the production. Again, lots of in-ears, really well-designed setup. I decided to get the wing out for this show. I thought I was just going to run M32s, but I did another show on the wing here recently that, again, so stressful, I didn't even take a video clip or a photo while I was there. But the wing sounded pretty good. So I wanted to get it back out in an area that I was familiar with, on a PA that I was familiar with. And I worked with these guys several times. Honestly, this wing is not the awesomest console ever, but it's definitely got its place in the market, and it works. That's all I have for today. Like I said, I've done a ton of events here recently, more than I typically do this time of year. So I really haven't adjusted to continuing to be able to use a camera at these events and document what's going on in a way that is beneficial to you guys. And so I just felt like I needed to kind of post this so that way I get back in the swing of things and remember internally, like tomorrow I'm going to a event, and I just felt weird to have all of this footage and not do anything with it. And so I just needed to put it all together and post something again so that way I can kind of move forward again. So I'm off to a show tomorrow, and I'll have another video this week. See you in the next one.